electronic transmission is not the silver bullet. It has its own problems. We got to face that. It's not, after all, and Russia is not hacking American election.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is America not hacking Russian election? UK election, are other foreign powers not hacking them?
China.
So why do we think that once we transmit, there's no problem? You can transmit, somebody will hack it along the road. In a country like Nigeria, there must be a backup.
So that's why you favor the manual side. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that the new law, the new electoral amended act,
2026,
takes the two into consideration. E-transmission, where there is network.
Okay, so why do you feel the opposition is greatly against it?
You see, the opposition must be at the neck of government.
At all times.
At all times. For government to sit up. If you say that anywhere there is no network, you cannot transmit. You cancel. That is what is the option. Once there is no network, you cancel.
But can it not be manipulated? Can it not be influenced when we now bring the factor of human over technology?
You see, the manual system can be manipulated, and it's always manipulated. It's always manipulated.
So,
do we throw it off? At the end option. The figure that we put, that we transmit, I'm saying can be still be manipulated while it's being transmitted.
the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has proposed about 873.778 billion naira for the conduct of the 2027 general elections. INEC Chairman Professor Joshua Amipiton disclosed these while presenting the Commission's 2026 budget proposal and the estimated cost of the 2027 elections before the National Assembly Joint Committee on Electoral Matters. He clarified that the 873.778 billion election budget is distinct from INEC's 171 billion naira proposal for the 2026 fiscal year, which covers routine operations, including by-elections and also off-season polls. Now, according to him, the projected cost for the 2027 general election excludes a fresh request by the National Youth Service Corps seeking an upward review of the allowances, among other things. He noted that the proposal was prepared in compliance with Section 3, Subsection 3 of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandates the Commission to submit its election budget at least 1 year before the general elections. He also identified the absence of dedicated communication network as a major challenge, stressing that developing an independent infrastructure will enhance transparency and enable also the use in the event of technical failures. Also, lawmakers at the section raised concern over funding mechanism for the electoral body. Chairman of the Senate Committee on INEC, Senator Simon Lalong, assured the Commission of legislative backing to ensure adequate preparation towards the 2027 general election. But the question still remains, will this huge amount truly give us a free, fair, and credible polls? And with the largest amount ever requested by the polls, can we say it or say, will this single polls, will it also bring about a true democratic gain at the end of it? Well, these and more, as it concerns the general election, is what this edition of Dialogue will be centered on. And we're talking about INEC request of 873 billion naira for the 2027 polls. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. We're looking at that very request coming from the electoral umpire, especially as it concerns the general elections that is scheduled to happen in about a year's time. But anyway, we're not waiting that long to talk about it. We're discussing about it now and here on Dialogue. And to help us talk about it is no other person. I like calling him an elder statesman. Undermine he feels he's very young. But anyway, I'll call him an elder statesman because he truly deserves it. And I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Wow. And are you looking young, though?
Am I? I don't know about that.
Well, anyways.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
Okay, well, anyway, let's just jump straight into it. This will be one of the largest amounts we've ever requested for as it concerns the conduct of the elections. And, well, according to my findings, because that's what I'm checking here, it covers a whole lot, as he said. But before we dive deep into that, I'm a bit also curious to find out your reaction on something. Now, many people will say since he was appointed the new INEC chairman in October of 2025, he has done little or nothing. While others will say, well, he seems to be doing the right thing. But the first question I really want to ask you, now since his appointment, would you say he has been up and doing, or has been too slow, as many critics will also say?
The INEC job during off-election season is very silent.
Okay.
Voters' education,
e-registration,
all that, voters' registration and e-registration, and issuance and collection of voters' card. Pretty well is on track. He has handled the Anambra
off-season
election. Although he was relatively, most of it has been done before he came on board. Yeah. It's too early. That's what I'm going to. It's too early to judge him. This is the major assignment that he's going to perform.
But many critics will feel that, at least even if it's, we do know we're in an off-season election, it should always be making the news. And making the news for all the right reasons. Making the news in being vocal about issues that concerns the electoral umpire. And not only that, but also going around having those visits to some major flashpoints as it concerns the election. And hence, they feel he's too laid back as it concerns that very sensitive and daring post he holds.
He has been on this job not up to a year.
Well, yeah, of course.
And he's learning the rope.
Okay.
There is no place you go and be an apprentice to INEC chairmanship. So let's give him time. Let's not assess him yet.
Okay.
Let's give him time.
Okay. Now let's come to the discussion itself. And like I said, he has requested for, I like taking the figures directly. He has requested for 873 billion, 778 million. I like getting the figures directly. And 372,090 kobo for the conduct of this very election, with an additional 171 billion for this fiscal year of 2026.
Yes.
So he requested for, which is almost close to a trillion naira. Now, this is the highest amount ever requested by any INEC chairman. My direct question, are you comfortable with such a huge amount, sir?
Well,
for an election, that job be conducted within 2 days.
2 days is the outcome of all the work that is needed. Well, 873 billion, you say 74 billion. Between me and you, if we are going to call spade a spade,
yes,
20% to 30% of that would leak through. Would leak through due to inefficiencies, kickback, contracts over bloated, even the committee, INEC committee of the National Assembly, they lobby them. And when you lobby them to pass your budget, it's not just a handshake. We've been in government.
As alleged.
It's not just a handshake. We've been in government. When I say I've been in government, I'm speaking of facts. Ministers have said that they lobby. Did they lobby with the ordinary mouth? No. So there are 20% to 30%. That's a substantial amount of money. There is 14 billion for miscellaneous. We'll
give you the figures now.
Yes,
yeah, we'll
14
break them
billion
down.
for miscellaneous.
42 billion, right?
42. What What is miscellaneous in what we've been doing for ages? Since 1999, INEC has been conducting election. What can be miscellaneous again? So, but there are so many things that go into election, or that don't meet the eye. One, insecurity. Certain areas, INEC must conduct election, but security preparation for those areas may not just be police and army. INEC may have to supplement. Terrains, difficult terrains, riverine areas, election there can be very costly in terms of moving materials and men and materials. Then the hardware that we are going to use for electronic transmission, the hardware that we are going to use, like beavers. We may not buy new beavers, but we may need to upgrade the software. That is the programming. We may have to reprogram to capture modern realities on ground. We just heard from what you read out that NYC is requesting for an upward review, although that has not been captured.
About 125,000 for each.
Yes, and then may even come back with supplementary budget. You never know. So, unless we know exactly what INEC is going to use the money for, no one can say if it is too much or too little.
I feel that will draw me to my next question, and it's only right I do this. And I feel it would be unfair if we do not give our viewers an opportunity to understand the figures and what they are meant for. Now, INEC has broken down that very figure into 5 major structures. And if you allow me, let me just run through them. He broke them into 5 major components. Yes, it's stated here, 379.743 billion for operational expenses, which is the largest among the chunk of money. Not only that, and also 92.317 billion for administrative cost. He also said 209.206 billion for technology, which the IREV and all comes on being. And not only that, 154.905 billion for capital expenditure. And I'm almost asking, are we going to build more offices while the 2027 elections are being conducted? It's just a question. And finally, he also said 42.608 billion for miscellaneous item. Well, forgive me for that cough and laugh, but I'm wondering what that miscellaneous will be. But anyway, looking at all of these proposals, which do you think stands out, and which do you think you're not really comfortable with? Assigning it to the different sectors.
Administration. You've already prepared a budget of...
administrative cost is close to about 92.317 billion.
How much?
92 billion.
You already proposing 171 billion for this 2026 fiscal year.
For operational costs, administrative costs,
yes. What are you going to manage again?
With the 92?
With 92 billion. What are you going to manage again with 92 billion? They need to look at that. The committee needs to look at that very well. Is it the management of the ad hoc staff? Is that not included in the 171?
But remember, the core members amount is not included, and there are a large chunk of the ad hoc staff that will be used during the elections.
So that is suspicious. But we have to be very careful in our description because they prepared the budget, and the law says whatever they need, we give to them so that they can conduct free and fair election. What is important is the oversight function of the National Assembly and the Auditor General's office.
Okay.
We know that the equipment used by INEC are not picked from the supermarket.
Of course.
They are special order. The programming is also special order. So this may entail a huge cost. But let's just hope that the National Assembly will do a thorough review of the budget, and we also do a very good oversight function on INEC.
Okay, now, as much as you wish we would just need to wait for the National Assembly to do its oversight, I want us to look at this 209.206 billion for technology. You will understand that one of the major concerns being raised by Nigerians, the opposition, and that is generating a whole lot of protests is the issue of e-transmission of results.
Yes.
All of this is embedded in this issue of technology. Just like what you said, we might not necessarily be buying new beavers if, and I repeat, if the ones we have already in use are in good order. But definitely we're going to really upgrade the software for efficiency and better performance. But come on, 209 billion?
You see, Mike, technology, I don't know of any Nigerian-born electronic technology.
Okay, company in the country.
Most of this equipment, if not all, are dollar denominated.
Most certainly.
They are imported.
Most certainly.
And dollar to naira is 1,400 and something now. $1 costs 1,400 naira.
Yeah.
Multiply that now.
Okay.
Beavers, if beavers, for instance, cost about 30, let's say about $5,000 for one. Multiply that into naira. All of a sudden, the figures look very good.
So for you, you're a bit comfortable with the figure?
I'm very comfortable. The issue is not the amount of money, the volume of the money. Are we going to be efficient? And are we going to achieve all that free and fair election that will make everybody happy? There's no issue of pricing of democracy. Whatever it takes for us to get it right, let's do it. So if we get bogged down on the budget, we miss the goal. For instance, we are talking of e-transmission. The chairman said there should be a dedicated network.
I was almost going there.
Dedicated network. What does it mean by that? That is a network that is owned by INEC, controlled by INEC. So an issue of glitches will not come up. Last election there were glitches. Yeah. Because they were using outside.
Which almost marred the election.
Yeah, which almost marred the election.
The credibility of the elections.
So there is the security of transmission. And that is what many people don't seem to understand with e-transmission. Okay. I am for e-transmission 100%.
Yeah, because I was almost going there because it's giving us a whole lot of reason to be concerned. And I'll play with you to hold on because I still want us to look at this issue of having a dedicated infrastructural channel to deal with the issue of transmission of results by being put by no other person but Amepito himself. Now, Nigerians are also a bit concerned because if we talk about technology and it's not being hacked, we're not having those glitches. Telcos or telecommunication companies came out yesterday. Look as if they even read in between the lines and had to make a major response. The Nigerian telecommunication industry is one of the most respected, the most thriving, and the most advanced on the continent, if not in the world. Now, it baffles them that we are talking about their inability to transmit real time. And hence they came out to say, well, they feel it is unfair to them that we are having doubts in their ability to transmit. Now, if Omar Piton is coming out to say we need a dedicated infrastructural channel, Would that be fair to the telco? Will that be fair to Nigerians? And will it even be fair and not a dint on the image of our telecommunication companies? Looking for an dedicated infrastructural channel.
INEC has not been able to manage just the electoral process. It wants to be involved in network management. You see, it costs a lot of money to maintain a network.
Yes, it does.
Is INEC going to open this network to general public for subscription so that they can make money?
And remember, the election is just once a year.
Yes.
Apart from the off-season.
Oh, yes. So
what
are you going to use this network for? Unfortunately, it's not in the budget. Fortunately, it's not in the budget.
Yeah.
But coming to the telecommunication industry,
yes,
we must admit that there are certain places that are black spots.
Yeah. Connection, network connectivity.
We must admit that.
Yes, we do understand.
Many a time, I can't reach my family members in Ogori, in Agbaro. You'll be talking to them, they think cost off. Even in cities, you and I talk at times, I can't hear you, can't hear me. Those are glitches that we are talking about. And you are going to transmit under those conditions, it won't work. So, apart from they coming to say, to debunk, they themselves should evaluate their performance. The telecommunication industry is not performing optimally. You can't talk. I mean, it's something we test regularly. I will call you, you won't hear me. You call me back, I won't hear you. Then we postpone. Something we are transmitting at that time, it won't go through. So that is a problem that we have to look into very seriously. Yeah. And that is why we can't deal away with manual transmission as a backup. Manual transmission as a backup. That's very important.
Okay.
Another area of e-transmission that I'm very worried about is this. You may get very high quality water from a source flowing through a pipe. But along the pipe,
there
may be contaminated. So the water that is coming out at the very
end might not be what got in from the source.
You see, you transmit your data.
Yeah.
You've lost control. Once you transmit, that's it. And then the data that you are transmitting goes through a process, through a channel. That channel can be hacked. What I'm saying is this. Electronic transmission is not the silver bullet. It has its own problems. We've got to face that. It's not, after all, and Russia is not hacking American election. Yeah. Is America not hacking Russian election? UK election, are other foreign powers not hacking them?
China.
So why do we think that once we transmit, there's no problem? You can transmit, somebody will hack it along the road.
But okay, let's still remain with this e-transmission because it's not generating a whole lot of concern, especially after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed into the law yesterday, which is debatable. Now, the opposition is coming out to say it looks as if there is a big understanding between the electoral umpire, the red chambers, and also the presidency doing that because they've never seen where a president would just immediately sign into law a bill that was only agreed upon just the day before yesterday. It's the swiftness of that signing is raising a whole lot of dust.
Look, Mike, you think the federal government, the executive arm, did not have input into the debate, was not monitoring what is happening in National Assembly?
Of course they would have been.
Up to the point where the thing was passed, federal government must be on top of it. So it's not like they are going to study it new. They are studying it and having input. Executive does have its role in the passing of bills. Many of the bills are generated by the executives themselves.
And sponsored, supported,
Yes.
and lobbied for.
So it's not like they stay in their offices and waiting for what the National Assembly will bring. No, they are involved. So the Mr. President could sign as soon as the ink dries. That is not the issue. We should be concerned with the process of how the bill, of passing the bill, the healthy debate, the robust debate, and if democracy is really thoroughly processed, included in the outcome. Just like I said in the e-transmission. In a country like Nigeria, there must be a backup.
So that's why you favor the manual side. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that the new law, the new electoral amended act,
2026,
takes the two into consideration. E-transmission, where there is network.
Okay, so why do you feel the opposition is greatly against it?
You see, the opposition must be at the neck of government.
At all times.
At all times. For government to sit up. If you say that anywhere there is no network, you cannot transmit. You cancel. That is what is the option. Once there is no network, you cancel.
But can it not be manipulated? Can it not be influenced when we now bring the factor of human over technology?
You see, the manual system can be manipulated, and it's always manipulated. It's always manipulated.
So,
do we throw it off? At the end option. The figure that we put, that we transmit, I'm saying can be still be manipulated while it's being transmitted.
But we have the party agents all around there.
Party agents? Party agents. I don't know Nigerians.
Well,
they are Nigerians.
Your laugh sounds funny.
Yes, but the point is this. The point I want to make very clear is e-transmission is not the silver bullet. It's not the silver bullet. We still need a lot of work to do on manual transmission. If manual transmission is correctly handled, is not manipulated, it in itself influences the quality of what we transmit. And you get the point I'm making?
Yeah. You mean we need to get it right as the people first.
First, we need to
learn now. That will now translate into what we haven't translated.
Yes, because
so the genuinity has to start from
garbage in, garbage out. What we transmit, the figure that we transmit in itself must pass integrity test. Must. Before we transmit. Otherwise, we transmit, we put in nonsense, we get nonsense. And even at that, it can still be manipulated. And to catch the manipulation after transmission, we need special skills.
Skills, you say?
Special skills. Because people will hack, whether we like it or not. INEC will hack. Can INEC detect that?
Okay.
Can INEC catch them?
Okay.
Can INEC avoid it?
Okay.
Can INEC correct it? These are all the integrity tests that the e-transmission must go through
before it is declared to be valid.
If not, we are just busting our head over nothing. If somebody is there with his computer, with his laptop, catching the results that are being transmitted, and catching them live as they are being transmitted to IREF,
you can change it.
He can change it, manipulate it with just a program. He's manipulating them and sending them out real time without IREF knowing, without INEC knowing that.
So the most important thing is to see how you can block those channels and make it really transparent.
That is it. But it begins with ensuring that the conduct of election is free, fair, and transparent. So that there will be no argument about what form has been filled And what form has not been filled? Are we filling the correct forms? Are we filling doctored forms?
That's the question.
That's the question. And it has to do with the politician. It's politician that manipulate. I've always said this. God does not kill anybody. God. If you put a loaded AK-47 on this table here now, from here to kingdom come, it won't kill anybody. It's when human beings handle it that becomes a weapon of murder. Is then start killing. If politicians are sincere and honest to themselves, if election is not a do or die affair, then all these safety measures, all these safety measures, all these security measures,
to guarantee,
and all this huge amount of money that we are spending will not be there. It's because even somebody who has no idea, whose wife will not vote for him, will want to win election and want to put money into it, throw money at it, because we are very gullible people.
And get its outcome.
And because we are very gullible people.
Okay, well, anyways, that's the bone of our discussion today. In case you're joining us, it's still dialogue right here on Atlantic TV Viewpoint it is. And today we're looking at that very huge sum being requested by no other but the electoral umpire itself, and for the conduct of the 2027 polls, amounting to about 873.77 billion naira that is being requested. And that's what's taking center stage on our show today, as much as we're looking at the new electoral cycle with the coming into being of that very new electoral act being signed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just yesterday. Like I said, we still have no other person but Chief Olori Magege helping out with the discussion. And I'll tell you that you always are free to also send your comments, reactions, and also questions real time, because we are transmitting real time. So you understand. We're a bit, anyway, let's leave where we are. But that's what we're having as a major discourse today. Let me come back now to you. And another major one, let's leave the transmission of results and come back to our discourse. In that very budget proposal being done by the INEC chairman and during the National Assembly request, he talked about something we discussed a bit, but I want us to return back there. Is the issue that he said money for upward review of allowances of adult staff, or especially of the National Youth Service Corps members, were not included in this very budget. And with our own findings, we're able to find out that it will amount to almost 32 billion added to this very one.
Yeah.
If he goes ahead to use, which is amounting to 125,000 per each corps member. But my question is, would it be right excluding that from the budget for now? And the reason I'm asking would it be right is you do know that the easiest people that can be used to compromise these elections are the ad hoc staff, which the youth corps members make a major chunk of. So would it be right in pushing them, excluding them from the process, rather than including them and make them more of a pivotal center of attraction as it concerns the election? Did he do the right thing in excluding them?
You see, it takes two to tango on this issue. The NYC Directorate and the INEC.
Okay.
They have to agree on what the corps members are to pay. Taking into consideration the risk that the corps members face.
They face on any, yeah.
Let me tell you this. This next 2027 election is going to be a very difficult one. And I'll tell you the reason. If at the end of the election and there is no network and you and I who are around there, we look at our phone, there is network.
There will be problems.
And the presiding officer is saying there is no network. He looks at his beavers, there is no network there. What do you think will happen to that presiding officer? Who is a youth corps?
Well, better seen than imagined. So let me just keep my head where it is.
So you need to reward them very sufficiently
for the danger they are about to face.
they are about to face. Because the new electoral law act that Mr. President has just signed
Assented.
provided for manual transmission where there is no network. And the youth copper is not in control of the presence or absence of network in the beavers. And given the level of sensitization that has taken place over this e-transmission, with everybody believing that e-transmission,
Might
the failure
just
of
be the
e-transmission may
golden
just
goose.
be the means of rigging the election. The person who is going to bear the brunt of the anger
The other staff.
will be the adult staff. So we need to compensate them very well. And we also need to provide for them adequate security. But most importantly, we will need to go down on our knees to beg network providers. I beg, for the sake of the lives of these young men and women who have just graduated from university, please make sure network is present. If we need to go for 30 days dry fasting, we need to. Because I am foreseeing a big problem there. The anger of the electorate will be vented on the presiding officers if network fails. If network fails, I beg.
Okay, well, anyway, I don't know whether I'll join in on the 30-day fasting because, you know...
Because you love food.
No, not that. We're already in fasting mode. Anyway, let's leave that. But irrespective of our prayers to the high heaven for that to happen, would it not also amount to INEC requesting for better protection and fund for better protection for this?
That is why
maybe the
it's
operational...
74 billion.
Okay.
That's why it's 74 billion. Because the preparation for this election, the arrest of El-Rufai, and the entire manipulation of social media by this and by that, by all the various opposing camps,
Might
lead to a heightened tension in the polity as we approach
the election.
2027 general election.
Okay, well, anyways, time is not a friend. We're almost done with our time. But I want us to look at one section of the Electoral Act. I don't know of these because we definitely would, after President Tinubu has digest it, but I rather use the one he used in presenting the budget to the National Assembly. Now, if you look at Section 3, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, he gave him every reason to request for these huge amounts. He gave him the power to request.
Yes.
And that power still falls within the period of 1 year before the election, which he used. Now, my next question is, as much as the Constitution can give him that power to request for, should also the Constitution not make it mandatory for him and the electoral umpire itself to ensure a free, fair, and credible election? That if that is not being done, he will go for it, as much as other some principal officers of the electoral umpire. Should we not have a section of that Constitution that mandates it and puts a caveat or a clause that would demand credibility of the elections after we spend such almost 1 trillion naira in giving him for an election? Would that not be fair?
Yeah, a follow-up to that is this. Has INEC account ever been audited? Do you know of any?
Not to my knowledge yet.
Because the people who will audit the National Assembly with their oversight function are beneficiaries of the inadequacies of INEC. Are they not begging for return? They want to return.
Would that not be a weighty allegation, sir?
Yeah, look, you've not answered me. Do you know of any...
Well, I can't remember any time that the account have been audited.
The only 2 INEC chairmen that I know of who have ever been called to account is late of the whiskey, who was accused of stealing 1 million, being bribed of 1 million, bribed, not being audited, though. He was being bribed, and he said he will fail if he see 1 million naira. That's to tell you how money has been devalued to present day. And then they want to slap Babangida over Abiola election. Umosu, he was slapped. They pressed it down. Those are the only two INEC officials, top officials, who had
INEC boss,
who have ever been held accountable. Others even have been rewarded with ambassador appointment. So we need to audit. We're looking at the budget. And once the budget is passed into law, they spend the money. Don't we need to ask them, how did you spend the money? How did you spend the money? Should the office of the Auditor General ask those questions? And let INEC publish its annual expenditure, statement of expenditure
for Nigerians
to see that indeed money voted for the electronic transmission actually was used for that. And if there are glitches because of the inadequate provision for that sector, then we can now say, okay, next time we'll give you more money.
In support of your conduct.
Yes. But that is not done. There is no way we are holding INEC responsible for anything. We give them the huge money. We don't ask any question. Simply because the beneficiaries of the inadequacies of INEC will not want to pay back INEC with ingratitude. It's ingratitude to probe the person who brought you back.
But will it not be Nigerians bringing them back? Okay, well.
But this entire discussion for the past 1 hour thereabout, it's about INEC. And it's about INEC because it handles the most important job for us Nigerians, election. It handles how we vote. Who do we cast? Who do we give our mandate to? And how is our mandate protected? How do we hold these people accountable? The people elected. We hold them accountable through INEC, because when they come back for re-election,
we either reward or punish them.
We reward or punish them through the same INEC. So it behoves of us to hold INEC itself to a very, very, very high standard. A very, very, very high standard. INEC requests for money, it spends the money, nobody asks questions. It's not done. It shouldn't be done. It should not be encouraged. It should be stopped. It's when we hold INEC accountable for the money that we give to them that will have some control over them.
But don't you feel, like I said in my initial question, that a clause should also be a part of this electoral act, mandating that if the elections are not free and fair, the electoral umpire itself, the management team, should be held accountable? Should the law not be also put in place? And don't you feel that law will come about or create more accountability that we're seeking for, as it concerns not just the spending of INEC funds, but also ensuring that the elections are free, fair, and credible?
We need them to enhance the independence of INEC.
Okay.
If we give them total independence, nobody puts a call to them.
Okay.
Nobody bribes them.
Okay.
Nobody influences them. Okay. There is no pressure whatsoever from anybody on INEC. Then INEC is free. We ourselves, we own INEC. We should leave INEC to do his job. Whether we are in the government or whether we are in the opposition, we should leave INEC to do his job.
Free, fair.
Free, fair. Like I said earlier on, God does not kill. INEC will not come up. INEC does not have his own candidate.
Of course.
Are you getting me? It's we that want to endear ourselves to INEC.
Okay. Now, because of time, because we have just a minute to go, I really want you to help us understand. because it will be incomplete if we talk about even just the electoral umpire without asking for something to follow. In your own honest assessment, what do you feel this electoral umpire needs to do to make 2027 elections be credible, free, fair, and most especially acceptable by all?
Resist pressure.
Excuse me?
INEC must resist pressure from everywhere and anywhere to favor one person over another. INEC must not only be seen to be impartial, must actually be impartial. Not just being seen as being impartial, must truly be impartial. If INEC decides to be impartial, we have no problem. But INEC is made up of over 3,000-4,000 workers. Judge Ahmed Piton cannot be everywhere, cannot be controlling the computers and all that. There are individuals there who are in charge. They may be corrupt. Ahmed Piton may not be corrupt. But those individuals may be corrupt. That is the issue. That's the problem. Within INEC, how are we sure that we have sincere patriots who are not being influenced? How are we sure that politicians have not positioned their cohorts into critical areas in INEC? How are we sure, as we are talking about, that they are not being influenced one way or the other? Because election rigging is not does not begin from the day of on the day of election. It begins earlier on, where compromises are being introduced
and recruits are being made,
and people are being influenced one way or the other with naira. Because it boils down to one thing: let's try to eliminate poverty.
So nobody will have time for your naira.
Yes, let's eliminate poverty.
Anyway, we will not eliminate our discussion, but rather wrap it up. And we can never wrap this discussion up. We've been talking for an hour now, without really thanking no other person, but Chief Olori Magege, the young activist. I'll call him the young, because it does not reflect that he's tired anytime soon with the robust discussion and insight he has. I'll need to thank you so much, Chief Olori Magege, for taking your busy time. And I know how busy you were yesterday. Many will naturally feel you need a rest.
Oh yes, Congress.
As an elder statesman, your voice is always needed when
you compliment me by calling me young. Then you take it away by calling me elder statesman.
Respect is given to who respect is given.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, all the same, thank you so much. And like Oliver Twist, you know we'll always come from.
I'm always ready.
Well, anyway, nice to hear that. But anyway, it's more like a wrap on the show today. I'll tell you that the discussion never ends here. It still continues. Because I would like to get your reaction, comments, and also a reason for more discussion on this awesome platform. Like I said, it's still Viewpoint on Latin TV. Let's get those reactions as they come, and we'll always oblige you in giving you kudos for doing so, and we'll always enjoy so. But for me, Mike Egobadia, it's a quick wrap-up, but still remain with no other but that Viewpoint, because the news will come around the hour, and yeah, something is already trending while cooking, and you stick around to enjoy that from Messi. But for me, bye for now.